Hello YouTube. I don't have an intro because I suck. Okay. Well, this is the final round of Mind Sports. And here I had the black pieces against Ronald Gross, or Gross. National Master, by the way. Almost forgot to mention. And I actually played him before, and it was actually at UMC. It was a long time ago because it's been a long time since we've ever played at that location, and it was actually the same line. I believe it or not, I played a Modern Benoni against him in the first ever game I played with him. So he starts out d4, knight to f6, c4, c5, d5, e6. We've all seen this book so far. Knight to c3, e takes d5, c takes d5, d6, knight to f3, and g6. So getting ready to fianchetto that bishop, and knight d2. So this is the exact line he played against me at UMC, and I recognized it instantly. And the idea is that he's going to bring that knight to c4, and if I just get carried away and bishop g7 castles, that other knight on c3 is going to come to b5, and I will not be able to defend that pawn adequately. It would be a bit awkward. Bishop g7, knight c4, and to prevent knight b5, a6. And also getting ready to push b5, so he plays a4, and I castle. Says here that this is the last book move, and he plays bishop g5. I don't see why this wouldn't still be the book move, but okay. Queen c7. It's a fine move. I just get out of the pin, and knight b to d7 may come at some point, and there'd be no more protection for that pawn on d6, so it's probably a move I have to play at some point anyway. e4, and play rook e8, so attacking that e4 pawn. f3 consolidates e4, and as you can see, my bishop on c8 has no perspective at prospects. Sorry about that. Along that c8 h3 diagonal. Knight b to d7. So the only hope for my bishop is to get it out either to b7 or a6. Sorry about that if that interrupted. Bishop to e2. And it says he can play bishop to f4, and after which I would play bishop to f8. Okay. And this is equal. Yeah, that would have been awkward for me. I don't know. After bishop f4, I guess there's no other adequate way to defend that pawn. So maybe rook to e8 was just it was a bit too soon. It takes away that e8 square from my knight. Luckily for me, he didn't exploit any of this. Just knight b to 7 and knight bishop to e2. So I continue rook to b8. I'd like to be able to play b5. Let's see, alternatively knight to e5. This looks similar to what happened in the game. Knight takes e5, rook takes e5, and bishop f4. And then I guess I just put my rook back to e8. The only similar thing about it is the knight's on e5, so sorry. Given this game away too early. Rook to b8, knight to a3, and so totally just discouraging me from playing b5 ever. So I had to think for a bit here. It's like, well, if I can't play b5, well, what do I do? It's a move that I'd like to be able to get in at some point. Here I was considering like a move like b6 and a5 just to get the bishop life, like maybe along a6. But then I realized that okay, well, whenever I play the move a5, this b5 square is going to be weak, and then like either knight can just hop in there and harass my queen. So I realized I can't be playing this way, and the move I played was knight to e5. So how I came up with this move is really just noticing what changed in the position. That knight on c4 was controlling the e5 square, and now that it's left, the e5 square is available for my knight and it can't be captured. So, castling, c4. Yeah, with the threat of queen b6 check and winning a pawn. Also what this move does is prepares the bishop coming to d7. If I play it in this position, he just plays f4 and my knight is trapped. So, knight first c4. So after bishop d7, my knight has the d3 square. Queen to d2. And okay, alternatively, let's see here. Bishop to e3 and bishop d7. So bishop e3 is just prophylaxis against the check, which makes sense. Queen d2, bishop d7, a5, and okay, so I was threatening to play b5, and I think I'm still threatening to do that, except now in this case there won't be a pawn there on b5, which would be threatening to fork those knights by advancing to b4. b5, it's a move I have to get in if I want to make my rook on b8 active. A takes b6, queen takes b6, check, bishop to e3, and queen takes b2. And here I was feeling pretty good about my position. My bishop on g7 is has free scope along the h8 and a1 diagonal, and I was imagining that some tactics might arise along this diagonal, some discoveries, but unfortunately for me that the situation never arose. Rook f to b1. This forces the queen trade because my queen has nowhere to go. Queen takes d2, bishop takes d2, rook e to c8. So I insert this move first to well, protect my pawn on c4, and if he wants to get that pawn, he's going to have to release attention on the b file and give me the b file. So that's what he does. Rook takes b8. I recapture. Knight captures on c4. d6 is hit, so I didn't see anything else better than just to capture. Bishop captures c4, and rook to b2. And this is probably not the most accurate move. It made sense to me just get on the second rank, but he had a nice reply. Let's see. Interesting is knight to h5, after which rook b1, rook to c8, bishop takes a6, bishop takes d4, oh no, bishop to d4, check, king h1, rook takes c3, bishop takes c3, and bishop takes c3. So my intuition was correct after all, that there was some play due to my control over the h8 a1 diagonal. Unfortunately I missed this opportunity. Played rook to b2. And here's his reply is rook to a2. My threat is I'm threatening the bishop, but also just moving the rook to c2 and winning either that knight or bishop potentially. So rook to a2, rook takes, knight takes, and here I was playing mainly on my intuition. Pawn is attacked, so I played bishop to b5. Seems like the most active way to guard the pawn. Otherwise, I mean, I can't push it, and the only other way is bishop c8. So bishop b5, bishop takes, a takes b5, bishop to b4, and Fritz says that this is a valuable piece, and I agree that bishop is very nice. Knight to e8, and both of our knights sort of are awkward here. At this point I was sort of feeling that I didn't have any real advantage anymore, and I'm probably just playing for a draw. King to f1, king f8, king to e2, king e7. So we both sort of get centralized, and I also defend the pawn on d6 with my king to relieve my knight of that duty. So my knight can move, king to d3, and knight to c7. So now my knight's getting back into the game. Bishop to c3. And here I was thinking for a bit. I thought about playing bishop to e5 and letting him take, but I was looking at that structure and I wasn't feeling too optimistic. I would just give him a protected pass pawn on d5, and I wasn't sure, like, I think that would just be like giving him the advantage, so I just took. King takes e3 and f5. At this moment I was thinking about moving my knight to a6 to prevent the king from coming in to b4, but then I just saw knight to b4, and obviously if I trade, the king comes in and takes my pawn, and that's not so good. So here I thought I found a very precise move with f5. Now I'm going to undermine this pawn structure here. The white's main advantage is that he has this very nice pawn chain and a single pawn island, whereas I have 3 pawn islands. But on the other hand, I have the outside pass pawn, and my king and knight are nicely coordinated, or not too bad. And so I guess given all this, it about balances everything. E takes f5. Now knight takes d5 with check, and also guarding the b4 square, so there's no intrusion over there. King to d4, attacking my knight. Knight to b6. F takes g6. H takes g6. Knight to b4. So finally that knight on, well, the knight on a2 is getting into the game. King e6, bringing my king up and guarding that d5 square. g3, this move prevents any intrusion over there on the king side. As you can see, this that whole rank is pretty much blocked off. Knight to c4. With ideas maybe of getting to f1 via d2 and f1, and then getting those pawns on the king side, but I saw that the king would probably just step back to e3 and then to f2, and my knight's trapped, and I'd get 2 pawns for it, but I wasn't feeling too optimistic about that. So my plan instead is probably just to bring it to e5, where it'd be nice and centralized. Knight to d3. Now let's see, he can try h4 instead, and then I play knight to e5. So yeah, the computer agrees with my way of thinking, I guess. Knight to e5 is where I ought to be going. Anyway, knight d3. Or knight c4, knight d3. And knight to e5. So I had calculated this, and I was sure it would be a draw, but I didn't offer the draw yet. I just I wanted to make absolutely sure. Anyway, he trades. That's I guess he has nothing better. The computer isn't really suggesting an alternative. I guess here it's just completely equal. I thought maybe he could try knight to f4, but then I just play king f5, and pawn on f3 is on pre. Anyway, knight takes, d takes e5 with check, king c5, and he is well, going after my pawn, and so I should go after his pawns. King f5, king takes b5, e4, f takes e4 check, king takes e4, and this is where I offer the draw, and he accepts. Basically, I'm just going to take both of his pawns, and in the time that I'm doing that, he's going to capture my pawn on b6. So it's a draw. And yeah, after the game, we went over it a bit. Let me see. He had something that he showed me earlier. I'll just go back. It's right around here. Yeah, he can. Instead of f3, he could maybe back here. Yeah, it's back here. He could try g3, and then fianchetto the bishop to g2. That would have been interesting, because it sort of discourages my b5 advance, because he would have his bishop on that h1 a8 diagonal. Yeah, that would have been an interesting try. That's sort of what we were going over most of the time. And it was a well-played game. It sort of just played out to a draw, but that's fine. I was happy with it. I thought I played well. And I thought about asking him if he remembered me, but back then I had really long hair. I'm guessing he wouldn't. I sort of looked like a girl. So maybe he thought I was a girl. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, that is it for this tournament. I hope some people enjoyed this. This has been my mega upload of 5 videos in like one day. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And I have a plane to catch in about 3.5 hours. So this is Chess Guy JZ signing off.